Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you've never been here before, hello, my name is Brittany and my channel name is pronounced Bratterstein. Today's video, as I'm sure you gathered from the title and the thumbnail, is going to be an exciting one because there was a hot new foundation release, if you know what I'm saying. Today's video is going to be a review, wear test, first impression, situation on the brand new ColourPop No Filter Foundation, Setting Powder, and Pressed Powder. I'm sure this reveal would have been a lot more exciting if I had taken it out and been like, here are the products, but I want to show you. I got this. I drove all the way to my office to pick it up because it is currently a Saturday and I don't work on Saturdays, but I needed to have this to review this as soon as possible because I know people are going to want to be picking it up, and if you have a similar skin tone or type as me, which is this is the tone and the type is oily, I thought you might be curious about how it wears and how it looks and what shade I am. So I am officially going to bust into it now for the first time. Before we get started, please subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't already. I upload videos once to twice a week, depending on the week. And of course, make sure to follow me on my other social media stuff. For makeup related things, it'll be Bratterstein, which I will put here. And if you are curious about fitness stuff, because I do Fitness Fridays on here as well, it is Fatterstein, which I'll put right here for reference. I have lost 90 pounds to date. So if you are curious about that, wow, that's shameless shelf promo. But no, if you are curious about that, it was Fatterstein. I think we should just go ahead and get into this. I don't even want to do a long intro. I just want to put this on my face so bad. Do you want to see that? Let's do that right now. If you would like to see me try on the ColourPop No Filter Foundation, Setting Powder, and Pressed Powder, just keep on watching. Gotta prep my under eyes real quick, because that's what I do. I use the e.l.f. hydrating balm stick every day before I put on my concealer, and this stuff, if you haven't tried it, I mean, it's cheap, it's e.l.f. and it's amazing. Let's get into these packages. Okay guys, so here are the packaging for each of the items. This is for the No Filter Setting Powder, cute little box with stripes, and this is in the shade Translucent. This is the Pressed Powder Compact situation, and this is in the shade Light. And then this is the foundation that I chose, and this is in the shade Light 45, which is actually the shade I use in Kat Von D's powder foundation as well. So I wonder if that has anything to do with why I chose the shade. I don't know, but let's see how it looks. Okay, so this is the bottle for the foundation here. This shade looks like it might be pretty good. It was described, it's light skin with yellow undertones, neutral yellow undertones, which I don't understand how it can be neutral and yellow, but I'm not like a scientist or anything, so I don't know. This here is the compact for the setting powder. Super cute. It reminds me of the same compact they use for their highlighters and stuff. And then that is the shade in the pan there. I like that it's got like a yellowy undertone because that suits my skin best. And then here is the packaging for the translucent setting powder. This is a pretty good packaging. It reminds me of every powder ever in life, but no, specifically the Laura Mercier. And then you open it, it's got a little sifter, which I got to puncture. I like to stick. Does anybody else not pull off the sticker, but like take it and poke a couple of the holes, or is that just me? Anybody else? Comment down below if you can relate, or let me know how you use your setting powders. Okay, let's just go ahead and get into it. My skin is already prepped. I use the Smashbox Photo Finish Primer Water. I use that every day, even with my powder foundation. I just feel like it makes my skin feel best because I can't wear, because I cannot wear moisturizer during the day. Every moisturizer I've tried has just been too greasy for me because I get oily. So I find that just wash, tone, primer, water, and then that e.l.f. hydrating balm under the eyes, and that is all I need, and that is what suits my skin best. Please ignore this red spot. I don't know what that is, and if I look a little pink, I am sunburnt as F. Truly, it's so bad. If you haven't seen it, if you're not following me on Instagram, I posted a photo because I wore a bikini, so I'm like, my friend said I look like a candy cane. It's outrageous. Maybe I can you see it right there? It's bad, okay? It's bad. All right, I'm so excited to do this. So right now, let me check the time. Right now it is 4:45 p.m. I'm getting a little bit of a later start on this. I actually don't usually do wear test at all, but I'm gonna be either going to the movie tonight. I'm going to the movies tonight to see Upgrade if I go to the movies, which I'm very excited to see. By the time this goes up, I will have seen it, so I'll have an opinion, but don't leave any spoilers in case somebody hasn't seen it. Or I'm gonna go to an escape room with my friend. Don't know what's happening. She invited, but she doesn't know where or what time or anything, so I don't know for sure if that's happening. So now let's go. I'm going to do 2 pumps. It's a little bit liquidy. Look at it run there. It's a little bit liquidy, but the shade looks like it's going to be really good. It comes with a pump that locks, but not a lid, just for your information, in case you were curious. Okay, and for me, I'm going to go in with this L'Oreal sponge that has cat hair on it. I just washed this for the sake of this video. I feel like such an adult. But I don't really use brushes for foundation anymore, so I'm going to go in with this sponge. If you want to use a brush, be my guest. I'm not your mom. Just going to dab it in there, get it nice on the butt, and then go in. Wow, that little bit went a long way. I'm gonna go in with a little more here and get the other side. It looks so weird on camera, but in person it doesn't look that splotchy, so I'm not sure what that's about, because it looks better in person. I'm looking in a mirror right here, and like on camera the shade looks a little light too. It's making me look a little ghostly. It's probably just because of my dark eyelids, but in person this is like damn near perfect shade match. Please ignore my ugly face that I just made. I promise I'm good at being beautiful. Up close, it looks really, really nice. It says it's full coverage. I bet it would be if I hadn't like spread it out so much with the sponge, but I'm more of a light coverage person anyway, and this is pretty full coverage for me. You can still see a little bit of my freckles, which I appreciate. If I put on more, I'm sure I could cover that, but I like light coverage, as I just said. It's sitting really nicely on my nose, which is my problem area. Like, that's a place where foundation looks like absolute ass. So the fact that it looks good right now is making me feel pretty happy. I guess I'll add a little more, take the last off my hand and just kind of build it up around here, just for the sake of it. Go over my eyelids just a little bit. There's not much left. But now I don't look so crazy. All right, so on first impression, this looks really nice up close. And I'm not even like a big foundation person. I'm just going on with the side that has nothing on it to soak up any excess product around my mouth, because that area always looks just straight nasty on me because I have a little bit of texture on my upper lip, but it's looking really nice, and the shade match is actually perfect. I don't know if you can tell on camera, but it's perfect. I did so good. I'm so proud. Now I look like I have a mullet a bit. Okay, so now I'm going to go in with the ColourPop No Filter Concealer, which I absolutely love. I don't think I have a dedicated video on this, but just know I love it. It's my #1. I use it every single day. I used to love the Maybelline Age Rewind, but it's not cruelty free, so I'm using that until it's gone, and then I'm not going to repurchase, but this has been a great alternative to that. So I'm going to go in with the shade Light Neutral in the old shades, because I have new shades now, and I'm going to put that, and then I'm going to use the setting powder. That's all I really do for concealer. I'm not like a big concealer all over the face type girl. I like something lighter on the skin because that's just what I like. Because I don't like to feel like I'm wearing a mask, which, by the way, to touch this, it feels really nice and it feels like it's going to dry down. I should get this open and ready now, shouldn't I? Okay, just because I don't have a needle in here and this concealer is going to dry, I am going to peel the stickum off, which I don't like to do. Oh, okay. I got it off of one. And now let's blend out this concealer real quick on top of the foundation, which they should work well together as they are meant to be sisters. Brother and sister, I don't know. Siblings, related. Okay, so the concealer blended out nicely on top, and now I'm going to spill powder all over my house. Now I'm gonna put it on the cap and all over my hand, and actually if you look at it, even though it's translucent, it's got like a yellow tint to it, like the Laura Mercier also. I wonder if this is meant to be a dupe. I'm gonna quickly make sure there's no crease in, because I have, you know, almost 30-year-old eye bags under there. I'm gonna dip the sponge into the powder and quickly set under the eyes. Woo! I'm also going to do on top of the eyelids because that's where I put my concealer as well. I'm just going to let that sit there a second and then dust it away. I don't really bake. I just set it there for like a second. I guess that's like mini baking. Easy bake face. Okay, now I'm going to take my fluffy BH Cosmetics brush and just kind of dust away that excess powder off my eyes. All right, I'm looking up close and it looks pretty smooth. Doesn't look especially dry. It kind of feels a little dry though. It definitely doesn't feel like silky soft under the eyes, but it looks nice. I'm not sure how I feel. I'll see how it wears and I'll have to use it again. First impression, I like it. I'm not like obsessed with it. Like the Kat Von D petal powder is my absolute favorite. This just kind of feels dry to the touch, where that feels a little silkier, but it looks fine. So, you know, it kind of depends on what you're looking for. Okay, and now for the last step in this beginning portion of this video, that's going to be to set the whole face with the ColourPop No Filter Sheer Pressed Powder. Ugh, that's a mouthful. So there is the shade right there. I'm going to go into it with my brush. Not much is coming off. It seems like it's packed pretty tightly, which makes sense since it's a sheer pressed powder, but let's go ahead and set the face with it. Okay, I've put that all over my face. Let's look up close and see how it's looking. All right, so up close, my skin looks pretty good. It looks a little bit matte, which I mean, for oily skin, that's gonna be a good thing. If you were dry, I'm not sure if you would love it, because I mean, I do look pretty matte, and I can't relate with dry skin, but if you have dry skin and you have tried this, comment down below and let people know your experience, because for me, it looks good. I'm oily. This is nice and matte. I feel like I could have put a little more foundation on my nose. It's looking a little bit pink, but it's not too bad. So far, so good. I like the shade. I like this coverage. This is my kind of coverage. I don't see full coverage like they said. Maybe with a brush it would have been, but if you want a lighter coverage, sponge would be the way to go, because that's what I got here. So now I'm gonna go ahead and finish up my makeup. You know, do the eyes, do the face, all that jazz, and I will come back after it's done, let you know how everything applied on top of it, and then we'll do a later check-in later in the night. So I'm gonna go ahead and send you over to Brittany with the makeup done. Okay, there you go. Okay guys, so this is my finished makeup look, all on top of the No Filter foundation and setting powder and translucent loose powder. Everything blended out really nice on top. I didn't have any issue. I think it looks really pretty now that I added a little bit of highlighter. I think it took away a little bit of the matte. For the sake of this video, I did not use a setting spray, which I must say hurt me deep to my core. I feel like I have done something wrong, and I'm not a fan of it. But I guess this just goes with doing foundation reviews, which I don't normally do, so I'm not used to it. But for the sake of this, I did not set it. Though I do believe if I was to set it, it would make it look really, really nice and give it a little bit more dew. But if you like matte, which I do like matte, don't get me wrong, I think you will love this because it is a nice matte foundation. It feels good. Let me look at it up close and see if anything has changed, because it is now, wow, 5:45. It's been an hour already. So let me look up close. It still looks like a good shade match, so it must have not oxidized much. Maybe like half a shade, I'm not sure. Does it look any darker now than it did when you guys saw me before? It might have oxidized a smidge. The concealers do also, but if it did, it's not in a bad way. I just look a little tan. That could also be from like my blush and my contour. No, I think it's the foundation. I think it oxidized a bit. But it still looks really smooth and really nice up close. Yeah, so far so good. I am liking it. So now I am going to go do things. Check-in time was 4:45. That's when we put this on. So we'll see how many hours we can get out of this, and I will check in with you guys at the end of the night. And if I go to the escape room, maybe I'll add a little clip of that. I don't think I'm going to, though. I have a feeling that's not what's going to happen, but I will see you guys later tonight. Okay guys, this is going to be a really quick check-in because I'm actually at my friend's house hiding in her bathroom. I was supposed to go home tonight. I was going to finish this review then, but apparently I'm spending the night here. So I'm going to give you a quick update, and tomorrow I'm going to film my final thoughts after I sleep on the situation. So I just looked in the mirror and it's looking, you know, pretty standard like every other foundation. It's starting to look a little dry and makeup-y on my cheeks. It is a little after 11 right now, so what, 4:45 I put it on, so it's been a good amount of time, but as of now, this is what it's looking like. I know, I'm looking a little beat. Don't mind me. I'm gonna go eat some pizza now, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Okay, bye. Okay guys, so this is going to be my final check-in. It is the next day and I'm about to leave to go to Buca di Beppo with my husband and his dad because it is Father's Day. So if you're a dad or you have a dad, happy Father's Day. The foundation, I am wearing it again. I think it looks really pretty. It is $12, so for the price point, I definitely think it's worth it. I used a setting spray today and it looks a little less matte, which is nice. So you could either keep it matte, not use a dewy setting spray, or use a setting spray and get it a little more lifelike, whichever you prefer. But honestly, the finish without the setting spray was fine also. I'm a needer of setting spray. That's just who I am as a person, and that's who I'll always be. So I don't think it's especially long wearing, but I don't really think any foundation is. Every foundation I've tried, by the end of the day I look in the mirror and I'm like, not so much. But I do like it for a shorter term wear. Like if I'm just gonna go out for like 5 or 6 hours, which is typically, if it's not a work day, that's how long I'm gonna be wearing my makeup anyway, I would grab this. I think it's really pretty and I'm happy that I do have it. It's not gonna be my everyday foundation. I'm still gonna do my powder foundation because that's what I like and that's what I find lasts the best on my skin and fades the most gracefully. With that said, I really do like it. I used the setting powder again today and I used it with a brush instead of a sponge and I did like it better. I'm gonna have to keep trying the pressed setting powder because I'm not sure how I feel about it. I'm not sure if it really does anything, so I'm gonna have to keep playing with that because it's hard to get it on the brush at all, and I know it's supposed to be sheer, but I'm not sure what it's accomplishing, especially since this particular foundation kind of sets itself. I don't know if it's necessary, but if you were looking for a sheer press powder, it could be worth trying. And I think that's everything I wanted to say about this. Please make sure to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and of course subscribe to my channel so you don't miss out on any future videos I will be putting up every week. Sometimes twice a week, sometimes once a week. Sometimes, no, that's it, once or twice a week. And I think that's everything I have to say, but if you are still watching videos, as I suspect you are, why don't you click on one of these videos over here? These are links to videos I put up in the past, so if you click on my face right over here, it'll take you to where you can subscribe to my channel so we can hang out all the time. I think this is a good idea. I think you should do this. And I think that's everything I have to say, so you have a good day. Okay, bye-bye.